Hey gamer, what do you think who is the strongest hero? Today, we will show the top 6 strongest heroes in MLBB. Before that, let's see how we define strongest. In my previous video, I show you all the top heroes from every lane, but they are not the strongest. I mean, they are strong, but in a strategic way. In top rank, they are best, but today I will show you those heroes even an average player can make Maniac Savage with them. The condition is simple. Don't need too much strategy to get a Maniac or Savage. Can able to 1v3 easily. Without a good CC, he is unstoppable. And most important thing, have high damage output. With these conditions, let's make a situation where your team and the enemy team fight. Enemy take down your 4 allies, and your team just killed an enemy tank. The enemy has an average of 50% health, and their CC skill is in 5 seconds cooldown. And you are a bit late in the fight now, it's 1v4, and it's your prime time. In this situation, many heroes can shine too high. But let's see which 6 heroes are standing at the top. Starting off our list at number 6, we have Alpha. Alpha's passive, Beta, Advance, is the cornerstone of his sustain and damage output. Every time Alpha hits an enemy with his skills, Beta, his drone, also basic attacks, dealing extra damage and healing Alpha. This passive allows him to stay in fights longer and deal continuous damage. Alpha's ultimate is very useful for capturing multiple enemies at once. After capturing just spam second and first skill, Alpha's skills deal significant damage. His ultimate, Spear of Alpha, allows him to burst down targets quickly and reset his skills for continuous damage output. Without CC to interrupt him, Alpha can maximize his damage potential. With first skill, Rotary Impact slowing enemies, and the ultimate Spear of Alpha providing a dash and stun, Alpha can control the battlefield, chase down enemies, or escape if needed. This mobility is crucial in chaotic fights. Alpha's healing abilities from his passive and second skill force swing give him exceptional sustain. In prolonged fights, this can outlast the burst damage from enemies, especially if they can't chain their crowd control. At number 5, we have Argus. Argus's ultimate, Eternal Evil, is a game changer. It allows him to absorb immense damage without dying, allowing him to deal significant damage while remaining invulnerable. Even in 1v5 scenarios, his ultimate makes him incredibly tough to take down. Argus's passive, Warmonger, allows him to deal enhanced damage after a few basic attacks. This means the longer he stays in a fight, the more dangerous he becomes, dishing out significant damage to his enemies. His first skill, Demonic Grip, is a versatile tool that lets Argus pull himself to an enemy, dealing damage and closing the gap instantly. This skill is perfect for initiating fights or escaping sticky situations. Argus's second skill, Meteoric Sword, enhances his basic attacks, dealing extra damage and applying a bleed effect. This bleed not only increases his overall damage output, but also helps in whittling down enemy health quickly. So with his ultimate and high damage output, he is incredibly strong. At number 4, we have Mia. Mia is basically a most burst damage attack speed MM. Mia's passive, Moon Blessing, enhances her attack speed with each basic attack, stacking up to 5 times. This means the longer she stays in a fight, the faster and more powerful her attacks become. Her first skill, Fission Shot, splits her basic attacks into 2 arrows, hitting 2 targets simultaneously. This not only increases her damage output, but also allows her to handle multiple enemies at once. Her second skill, Rain of Arrows, allows Mia to control the battlefield by slowing and potentially stunning multiple enemies. This is particularly effective in 1v4 situations where positioning and crowd control are crucial. Her third skill, Hidden Moonlight, allows Mia to become invisible, remove debuffs, and increase her movement speed. This makes her incredibly hard to pin down and allows her to escape or reposition during fights, giving her a strategic advantage. Mia's consistent and high attack speed, combined with her ability to hit multiple enemies with first skill Fission Shot, allows her to sustain high damage over a prolonged period. This makes her a constant threat in fights, capable of wearing down enemies just in a second. At number 3, we have Ixia. Her first skill, Plasma Arrow, fires a straight line shot that deals damage to all enemies in its path. It's perfect for hitting multiple targets and applying pressure to grouped up enemies. Ixia's second skill, Star Helix, fires a spiral of energy that deals damage to enemies hit and gathers them in a straight line. This skill is excellent for controlling the battlefield and making it difficult for enemies to escape. Ixia's ultimate, Overcharge. This skill significantly boosts her attack speed and allows her basic attacks to pierce through enemies, hitting multiple targets. It turns Ixia into a machine gun, dealing massive damage in a short amount of time. Ixia's consistent and high attack speed, combined with her AoE abilities, allows her to sustain high damage over a prolonged period. Along with that, Ixia's ability to deal damage from a distance and reposition with her skills allows her to stay out of reach of enemies while still dealing damage. This makes her a constant threat in fights, capable of wearing down multiple enemies even in a short amount of time. At number 2, we have Freya. Freya's passive, Power of Einherjar, grants her a shield and extra damage every time she uses a skill. This greatly increases her survivability and allows her to dish out significant damage in extended fights. Her first skill, Leap of Faith, allows Freya to jump to a target area, dealing damage and stunning enemies. This skill is perfect for initiating fights and controlling multiple enemies at once. Freya's second skill, Spirit Combo, is a series of empowered attacks that deal increasing damage and apply crowd control effects. This combo can quickly shred through enemy health health bars, making it a devastating tool in her arsenal. Now, Freya's ultimate Valkyrie Descent. This skill enhances her basic attacks, grants additional attack speed, and creates a shockwave that deals damage to surrounding enemies. It's a massive power spike that turns Freya into a one-woman wrecking crew. Freya's combination of high survivability, crowd control, burst damage, and ultimate power spike makes her exceptionally unstoppable. Now at number 1, we have Marduk. Marduk's passive, Ashura's Wrath, grants him attack speed each time he uses an ability, stacking up to 4 times. This allows Marduk to unleash a flurry of attacks in rapid succession, overwhelming his enemies. His first skill, Ashura Aura, pulls enemies to a target location and deals damage. This skill is perfect for grouping enemies together and setting up his other abilities. Marduk's second skill, Mortal Coil, is a 2-stage dash attack that deals damage and knocks back enemies. The first dash can be used again within a short time to deal additional damage and control the battlefield. Marduk's ultimate, Decimation. This skill deals massive true damage to a target, and if it kills the target, the cooldown is reset and Marduk gains movement speed. It's a powerful finisher that can turn the tide of battle. This allows Marduk to chain kills together, making him incredibly dangerous if he starts to secure eliminations. Marduk's abilities allow him to sustain high damage output while controlling the battlefield. His attack speed and mobility make him hard to pin down, allowing him to destroy the enemy like a crazy madman. That's our list of strongest heroes. If you disagree with me on some points or want to share some more information, you can share it in comment box. I love to read your comments. And those who searching for top tier heroes, I made a video for you where I show all the top heroes from every lane. All top ranked players use this hero to win high rank matches. So let's watch this video. I am here.